Okay, I've got my sport plane, my sub 250g brushless sport plane, my DIY prototype out here today to throw it in the air for the very first time. Alright, so let's see what we've got. Hopefully this will work better than my last prototype. We'll see. Not a lot of wind out here. I'd say it's about 3 to 5 out here right now, so pretty good conditions for a test flight. Let's see where my wind is coming from. It feels like it's coming right across the road over here. All right, launching. All right, so I've got it in fully stabilized mode right now. I'm at about 60% throttle. Use some rudder here to turn it. Okay, so I'm going to gain a little altitude and I'm going to put it in wind mitigation mode and see what we've got. All this was guesswork, guys. I have no idea how it's going to handle. I've got my timer set for 4 minutes just to be on the safe side. Okay. Okay, now we are in wind mitigation mode. So let's come back through here and bring it away from the sun. Let's see. Alright, not nearly as much power as I thought it was going to have. I may need to put a little bigger motor on it. My thrust numbers show that it should have more power than that. Oh, I guess that's not bad. It's definitely it was definitely climbing vertical, so I guess it's not that bad. Maybe it's just because it's so quiet. I didn't think that it was really increasing in power. But let's try another loop with this. Oh yeah, heck yeah, you get a pretty wide loop out of it. Oh, it has a decent roll rate too. Well, this one is not nearly as far off as I thought it was going to be. This is actually handling pretty well. I think that it's a little bit tail heavy, just a tick. Let's see what our right roll looks like. Maybe a little bit slower, maybe just a little bit slower than it was going left. But that is pretty darn stable, guys. I'm really happy about that. You never know until you put one in the air. But that's the rolls look pretty axial. I haven't touched any of the trim yet. I think this is going to be a pretty nice flying plane. And I've already decided to do a couple of modifications to it. And I'll go over that after I've gotten a couple of test flights on it. But I'm really happy with the way that this first test flight is going, the maiden flight on this plane. That is pretty slick. And I'm getting my timer right now. I've got it set for 4 minutes because I don't know, what kind of flight time I'm gonna get out of it. It's a hybrid profile plane, so it should not have a whole lot of drag. It should cut through the air pretty well. Alright, we'll wait for the alarm to go off and then I'll bring it around and land it, and we'll see how much battery power we've got in it. And maybe, just maybe, I'll be able to put a larger battery in it. Okay, I've got it back into stabilization mode. Let's see if we can get it over the lane here and get it on the ground without tearing it up. Hard landing. Hard landing. Hopefully I didn't do any damage and I'll be able to put it right back in the air again. Let's see. Whoa, everything looks like it's still intact, guys. I am really happy with the way this maiden flight turned out. I think with it being just a tick tail heavy, I think with the modifications that I have planned for this, little sub 250 gram, I call it a microplane. I really call it a microplane because of the weight, but it's not really micro in its size. It's a 610 millimeter wingspan, which is a 24-inch wingspan, so it's kind of in between a micro and a mini plane, really. But I'm pretty happy with what I saw so far, and that plane was really stable. I was so surprised. I have not even done any trimming on it yet. It looked like when I was doing the loops were nice, and it held its line while I was doing the loops. The split S maneuvers looked fine. The rolls, I might increase my ailerons a bit for a little bit faster roll rate and put a little differential, I think, to the right. It looked like the right was just ever so slightly slower than it was with the rolls to the left, but I think increasing the dual rate and putting a little differential on the ailerons, I think it's going to even those up just fine. It looks like it's definitely going to have the roll rate that I want out of it, because I've only got the ailerons at 70% dual rate right now. Everything, as a matter of fact, right now I think is at 70% dual rate. My elevator, my rudder, my ailerons. I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to be twitchy on the maiden flight, and it looks like that worked out really well. So now I'm going to actually bump up my control surface movement a bit. I'll move it up to, we'll go to 80% on everything, because everything felt really smooth. But I could use a little more authority on the elevator and on the ailerons, and I always like a ton of authority on the rudder. So I think I have a winner with this one, guys. But yeah, this is going to work out really well on a 3S LiPo. The wind's picking up. I don't want it to fall off the table here, but that's absolutely fantastic, guys. Stay tuned. I think if the wind calms down a little bit again while I'm out here, I'll put it back in the air again. Right now I only have 2 LiPos that will fit in this plane, unfortunately. I wish I had more, but now that I know I'm going to need more of these batteries, I'll go ahead and order a few more of them. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the air.